let's get into the draft. It's already going. Ooh. That's not that game. Oh, there we go. That was a replay, guys. So this is a live game. Okay, this is no spoilers here. All right. Now, the place we are at right now is an interesting moment in Dota 2. We're tentatively awaiting a new patch, is safe to say. The meta is not that different from what we're seeing at TI. There have been nerfs to some of the top heroes, but not enough to make them not good, apparently, because we are still seeing almost all of those heroes picked and banned here. All of these heroes that we're seeing were picked quite a bit at TI. Winter Wyvern, I believe, was also still first-round banned as well. Spectre received nerfs. In a pretty moderate way. I don't know if too many of these other heroes have, though. So, Team Spirit and Alliance is a pretty exciting matchup, in my opinion. Team Spirit definitely very different players than what they were last time that we saw them, leading up to TI. And Alliance is, I believe, similar roster, but I'm not fully informed on the EU region. In fact, I'm still trying to catch up a little bit on some research. In terms of matchups so far, Broodmother as a hero, very effective solo laner, very good at dominating the lane, can win a lot of matchups, can create a lot of space. Quakefa has always been an extremely talented Broodmother player. I do not know if he's their Broodmother player currently, but that's like the kind of hero he plays. I don't know why I see Broodmother in kind of the similar way as I don't know, your Tinkers or whatever else, but maybe just farm-heavy heroes that can do a lot with a lot of farm is what I'm thinking. Mirana as a pick is also very solid. Good laning hero, can kind of fit wherever. Lanes well with Earthshaker potentially. You can always do fissures into arrows, or just give Mirana space in that way because you can leap away or follow up or chase or score kills in that way. Necrophos is a pretty strong laner as well as a whole. Does need a little bit of farm to be scary, but and definitely more of a threat in like mid and late game scenarios with Reaper Scythe. And they also had to deal with global silence as well, which is another thing that's going to be a bit of a pain in the butt for Alliance. Definitely one of the nice things about Silencer as a hero. Silencer actually is a hero that got nerfed heavily in terms of his early laning stage. His Arcane Curse currently, I believe, costs about 135 mana to cast it. Around TI time, it was 75. I believe it's same skill damage-wise, but 75 mana versus 135 about now at level 1 is a crazy difference. So really big reduction in Silencer's ability to spam out the lane with his first skill. He's also got nerfed to his third skill, Last Word. I believe it only does like 120 damage level 1. Used to do 150, so Silencer definitely getting some nerfs here as one of the stronger supports at TI. Not the strongest, but definitely saw it a lot in the group stage, minimum. Any other bans? Kunkaban is a little bit more abnormal, I suppose, but pretty much everything else that I'm seeing here looks very reminiscent of a lot of the games that I casted at TI recently. So, pretty exciting stuff here. Just want to give a quick throwback memory to solo casting in the year of 2012 approximately. Very, very strong solo casting year for me. So this really takes me back here. Opening up and having to speak every single word during the draft is quite remarkable in many ways, and I'm excited to do it again. Although Rob is here with me to listen to every word. Rob, I'll ask a question. Tell me your Dota knowledge. I have a pop-up. Could you briefly change the overlay while I set to offline mode?
You darn right I can.
I don't want people to know that my friends are signing on, okay?
Hi.
Is that so hard?
We have so you're gonna friends. Look at him go.
Watch me do it without watching me do it. Okay. That could be a euphemism in many ways. Okay.
Great.
No problem. Thanks for helping me out there. All right, Troll Warlord has been snagged up on Team Spirit side. Very good combo with something like Tiny to increase his attack speed. And we've got a Brewmaster in response for Alliance. Kind of an interesting hero. Definitely was picked a pretty good amount of TI. I don't think Brew had the best win rate. Definitely fell off more towards main stage, but very strong teamfight hero. Potentially very good against the enemy heroes. You can do things like Dispel Axe Blind. You can Dispel Ghost Shroud on Necrophos if you want to secure kills. But past that, just very easy for him to dive and kill heroes like Silencer. And easy for him to pressure heroes like Troll Warlord in a lot of cases too, when he has ultimate at least.
10 seconds remaining.
But it seems like Troll is getting a little bit more popular right now. In fact, there's a lot of heroes that are kind of ticking upward because there have just been so many nerfs towards the top heroes for so long. And by that I mean that Icefrog seemed to not want to change the meta too extremely for good reason. Didn't want to mess things up right before TI. Once TI happens, the major qualifiers were only a short distance away, so didn't want to mess the meta up too much again there. And now that all the major and minor qualifiers are finally finished, we're expecting a patch probably any day now. But for now, we are getting some uptick in heroes that haven't been power nerfed repeatedly in the last month and a half. Maybe not power nerf, but received slight to moderate nerfs. I think Spectre's win rate alone really tanked, at least in high level like Divine games. And an AA pick, fun to see. I do like playing this hero myself. Lots of disables on the team that you can amplify with Ice Vortex, and followed up with an Ice Blast. Ice Blast is very good against Necrophos, the poor man's Spirit Vessel. If you don't want to have to buy Spirit Vessel to deal with Necro's healing, you could just drop the Ice Blast, and that man is extremely killable. So I kind of like the A pick. It's a little vulnerable. He's not going to be able to defend himself very well against the Tiny, and a hero like Batrider is going to be a little bit of a pain in the butt for AA. But I do like AA as a hero. I think he can work out this game in the right circumstances. So we'll see if he gets pressured a little bit too much from Batrider, or if he has a good game. I'd love to see how he transitions here. Now, what's interesting to me right now in Pro Dota is that I feel like from a me standpoint, every time that I safe lane support, I have a really terrible time, and I'm kind of curious how pro players deal with that right now, because it feels like off lane is a lot easier to play, in the sense that there's a lot more paths to harassing and tree paths and things like that. It feels safer. So for a hero like A, I feel like he may have some trouble playing against these heroes. I guess it's a Batrider and probably I guess it's a Tiny support, I guess is what we're looking at. Yeah, Biver typically does play support. So Tiny support, Batrider, and then a Silencer Troll Warlord is my initial impression. Could be the opposite way as well, but I assume Tiny Bat, that sounds like you could do some good stuff with Napalm tossbacks. So can A stand up to that? We'll see what he does to try to stabilize in that way. I think it's going to be a little hard for him, but I'm sure he can manage if he makes the right plays. They obviously picked the hero for a reason, and minimum they're going to need a lot of magic stick charges, so boy are we going to see some Ice Vortexes, that's for sure. Don't think that Chilling Touch is going to be super valuable in the laning stage. As much as I love the skill, it's pretty bad level. It's not bad, it's just not very good damage-wise. It used to be much better. And also, even like Cold Feet, I'm not super confident that he's going to be able to stay alive for that one, or at least land the stun. So, oh, that's right, and I'm observing. Get ready for the best thing you've ever seen. Luckily, I actually did practice this modern mount. The downside, though, is that I'm using somebody else's mouse. It's like I'm cheating on my girlfriend or something right now. It's feels weird, feels wrong. So it's going to be a little sloppy. It's going to be all over the place, and I hope you guys are here and ready for that experience with me. Okay. I've never done that before. Don't accuse me of that. Okay. Ward's getting placed down here, trying to spot out the enemy heroes. And am I going to go over the names? Nah. That's amateur stuff. I hate when people do that. Oh, God. Close shop. My hotkeys, okay, they're working. They are working. So pull up the kills, deaths, and assists, because that is by far the most important information you could ever possibly know right now. And maybe the last instant deny. So we do get some wards down. Kind of interesting ward here, just trying to control the area next to the lane. Both teams just set up, looking for bounties. Not the Dire team. They do not care much about bounties. They just want one. Possibly their thought, because of the fact that they're up against a Batrider, is that if they do cross the map, they could easily run into a really dangerous moment here. And for the most part, just really focusing on blocking. Earthshaker is going to fissure block the wave to make sure that their wave is in a good place. And yeah, one bounty run for their team. So this will not work with an Alchemist. In fact, FNG is actually going to cross the map a little bit here, thinking about going for the bounty. Which is very interesting. They actually do have a ward. They did actually spot their opponent with their Observer ward. I'm sure they did see the Brewmaster in this case, so Dire Team is able to grab two bounties. They could have maybe gone high ground there and messed around with it. Biver now teleporting to the top lane, go to tree grab here, and use that most likely to try to harass out the enemy support. AA is not going to be able to deal with this very much. Lots of regen on Mirana, a little bit of stats here. And in the mid lane, it's going to be a Necrophos versus a Broodmother. Not too unexpected here. Necro has a pretty huge last hitting advantage here. Broodmother, no Stout Shield, is going to take a lot of damage from every right click, but with the Quelling Blade, he should be able to get last hits here. And Quickfoot, historically, Pretty strong laner. Very good at farming in the long run, so should be able to be fine. And in fact, it's actually kind of like a tri-lane here. They do pull the creep wave back with the Earthshaker Fissure, which is going to give Brewmaster a little bit more space here, but now they're committing 3 heroes to the top lane, which should potentially allow them to Fissure block off the Tiny here, is their goal initially. The Fissure is going to stop the melee creep a little bit. We'll see if this ends up de-aggroing. I feel like it very likely might. He does end up keeping the range creep, just a slight mistake there from the Earthshaker Taiga. But in terms of last hitting, 8 now already for 9 here on T-Spirit. It's a player I haven't heard of before, but seems like he's already doing very well last hitting. Maybe a new talent potentially. Kind of exciting to see. Chilling Touch is the skill here for AA level 1. He's already picked up a magic stick, able to pick up some free mana if needed. Earthshaker spotting out Biver, walking around here. And so far, everything's just pretty straightforward. Where's that Brew at? Oh, he's actually over here. Contesting the lane a bit. FNG using Glaives of Wisdom to get some harassing. Pretty decent skill to have level 1, especially with the current mana cost of Arcane Curse. It's 125, excuse me, I was a little bit wrong. But still 120 damage on Last Word. His other level 1 skills just not nearly as good as they were in the past. So by picking up Glaives, he's still going to spend his mana. He doesn't aggro creeps ever by using this. And he's going to be able to get like, what, 9 extra pure damage per hit or something. 6 extra pure damage per hit, which is not a lot, but it's something. And you know, it's not reduced, and it gives him a way to harass Boxy pretty consistently here. So definitely a decent way to deal with the enemy hero if it's just a solo hero so far. Last inning-wise, things are evening up a bit more. Necro's up to 13 and 2. The Broodmother's matching him more so at 11 and 1. On the safe lane here, Troll sitting at 11 and 6, which is basically even to what Moran is dealing with, 10 and 2. And from there, not great for the off-lane heroes so far. Batrider ends up getting level 2 at least, so he can maybe go for a kill. Boots picked up as well. No toss yet to toss him on top of a target, but between Avalanche and the Tree Grab, he certainly has that potential to get kills, at least. Nice pull connect here by the Earthshaker is going to deny some farm. Seems like pulls are getting a little popular once again. Fissure block not perfect here. Not able to catch him on the other side. He is able to secure the cold. Ooh, that was actually very close. Barely gets the cold feet, and they barely land the arrow here. Earthshaker wants to go in, but he does not want to get into the fire too early. And Mickey there does end up leaping to go for the kill, but now he's going to have to leap back high ground. That's actually pretty costly. I guess it's not that big of a deal, but you know, an extra leap early, that's 60 seconds here. And the fact that was his last leap, he did not want to do that. But nice of Batrider to pressure him in that moment, force out the extra leap. But either way, he gets the first blood. It's going to be his basic coming out, extra regen, a magic wand recipe as well, so that he can finish his full wand here. And with the wand, more stacks and more likelihood that he stays alive here. Earthshaker shifting now to the bot lane to try to limit Troll's ability to last hit, but he's got many ways to eject axes from his body to guarantee last hits, and he uses one of them to guarantee that last hit while Boxy gets him real boozed up. So interesting game so far, but pretty slow. Mostly just very, I won't say slow, it's more just like very efficient and smart ways to guarantee farm. Essentially is what we've been seeing so far. And that's always interesting to see. This is like one of those games where it'd be really good to study the player movements, in my opinion, because then you can better get a feel for ways that you should be laning your games, and instead of feeding in the laning stage like I do. So maybe some homework to do for myself later. 2 points in Chilling Touch now. Like I said, level of Chilling Touch, not so good. Doubled in benefit, more so, more than that for level 2 Chilling Touch. More buff duration, hell yeah, that's why I scale it up. But really the double damage and the extra max attacks, 40 magic per hit is pretty solid. I'm not surprised to not see him grab a Vortex early. It's lower mana cost right now, 65, but just doesn't really secure that much in the lane that they currently have. It kind of needs somebody else to set up a stun here for the arrow to land in the first place. So I think I'm fine with the items he's going for here. He does kind of reveal that he has a ward in the area. He's trying to get the boundary, but Wyver's able to run it at the right time and guarantee that he steals it. Stolen bounty rune, man. Somebody call the police or something. That's a terrible joke. I should not say that. That's probably not where I should go in my casting humor here. So decent last hits for Brood. He's doing a nice mix. The standard Brood stuff, mix between jungling the large camps or the medium camps, excuse me, near the mid lane, and then he'll head over to the medium or the mid lane to keep picking up more and more spiders. Cold Feet used by AA to try to zone Biver from contesting this small pull here. it's a decent amount of experience from every small camp. Small camps usually giving about 100 experience here. Make a feeling likely dead here. This looks a little scary. He's got 4 stacks, gets tossed in there. He's got 1 more leap, but that's it. Uses his magic wand. Instead, it's actually gonna be, they're going to go for the A. This was actually perfect for them. They spread out the enemy. Firefly is basically gone now. They give up on Mirana because he leaps away. And then those stacks go away. That was pretty much perfect. He TPs out, instantly realizing what's at stake and that they had already used both Avalanche and Toss. Really, really good play there by Alliance to separate out the danger from Spirit here. So not a bad start here. 6 minutes in, still only 1 kill. But if we take a little peek at the net worth, it's a net worth advantage for Spirit, for sure. They're definitely laning very well, but it's not an undeniable lead. It's not incredibly out of control. And outside of things like Global Silence, the teamfight for Alliance is actually pretty decent as the game continues here, especially with the hero of Earthshaker that we've seen a lot of at TI really make a big impact in a lot of crucial moments. DD here, slap at a tower. Aquila up for Mirana as well, so her ability to actually control the lane would be amazing if she wasn't laning against a Tiny who has, it's literally made of rocks, so you know it's very easy for him to last hit. Throws out a tree here, just trying to lane stabilize. Kind of incredible that a support can do this, essentially. I actually barely played New Tiny with his tree grab updates, in fact, but I played him the other day, and he definitely feels very strong at laning. In trouble here, getting attacked by many dire heroes. In fact, they want to get the double, but a nice rotate here from 5 or 2 points in toss gives them some pretty good burst damage. Stole his brains a little bit here. Silencer doing all he can, but he's actually just a little low on mana. In fact, he's missing a lot here. Even if he wasn't, I'm not super confident he'd be able to pick up the Brewmaster anyway. So typical Silencer contribution in some phases is like, stop killing my allies, please, and they just continue doing it. Still zoned a bit here. He's very happy to spend his mana. Uses a curse and no AA. Fallen for the bait there. Farm continues though. Pretty good warding from the Radiant team so far. They are going to be able to spot Quakeva at times moving between these camps, and another Observer in the mid lane also spot those out. Once again, not missing kills. Troll taking tons of damage there from a clap right click. Brewmaster picking up a quick phase here to help him gap close. Once again, my mini-map precision is leaves something to be desired, but hopefully it does not lose us a kill in any crucial moment here. 1-1-1 skill build for Earthshaker. Mirana very likely almost died, and I would have missed it. Very happy to say that she survived. Perhaps the reason there was a Moonlight Shadow. Ooh, there's a scan here. He wants this kill. He's going to find him. There's the Avalanche and another toss being, or movement ability leap being used and able to get away. Although it's getting a little close. Gets into melee range, gets a toss up. That's going to take some amp damage, 30% extra, in fact. That could be a threat in here. Yeah, Necro committing for the tower here. Now Brew ulti as well, and extremely likely dead. That man turns on Ghost Shroud instantly. He's going to be dispelled. They guarantee that kill. They do get the tower on the Radiant side, which is good, but with the Brute TP, maybe less good. Maybe not ideal. And either way, getting a fast Brew ulti off to guarantee kill. Every time you, like as soon as you get level 6, you're looking for these opportunities for Brewmaster, because ulti is actually kind of an incredible amount of damage. Where did that? Well, I missed that kill, but we don't count couriers. They're not people. They don't have souls. Back on the bot lane, Brewmaster continuing to slap creeps, going for a soul ring. A little bit of a late soul ring, but kind of interesting. Brewmaster terrible. Very stupid here. 1.3 int per level. The guy does not know how to increase his intelligence, and it's not going to be any better actually being against a Silencer. Maybe a smart choice this game, considering the fact that he's just going to get dumber as he dies. Although, with that said, FNG, not the smartest man right now. Just too smart. 2-level smart. Potential creep cutting for the Broodmother on the mid lane here. With the Veil of Discord up on Necro, he's going to be able to kill spiders more easily, but spiders do have pretty high magic resistance, meaning that magic resistance reduction is not the best thing. Spiders, they want to eat, baby, and it's Bat that's on the menu, although Bat may also kill a lot of spiders. That was very close. Very close. But again, high magic resistance on these little babies. 50% means that it's going to take a lot of burning for the spiders to go away, which you wouldn't think. I'm pretty sure that fire counters spiders for the most part. But not this game. Nope, not here. physical damage, turns out. Also makes sense. I mean, they have a little carapace, you just gotta crack them open or whatever. Juices come out. I don't know, especially. Brewmaster being ganked, now being right-clicked. I don't think he's going to make it here. Like I said, his brain slowly diminishing. A massive 327 mana currently. Brood does continue the creep corner. I do like this method of being a little bit more aggressive. The hands are chasing. They're just trying to say hello. Normally, Broods really focus a lot on taking Ancients, basically. Ancient camps, doing the jungle camps near the mid lane, but the fact that he's also cutting the creep wave is nice because it's going to force the enemies to rotate a bit more to deal with him. Because normally it's like he'll kill the wave safely on his side of the map, but now kind of forces them to run between this position and any other of the camps that he's going to be at. And then when the heroes show up, they have to run over to deal with them. Like, Koikwa is actually making so much space right now as a result. He's doing a great job here. With that said, they're like, hey, let's kill some spiders. And then they kind of forgot. Again, 50% magic resistance means, they're getting low, though. No, the babies! No! Get him healed. Don't let them die. He died. I don't know why. Maybe the creepy hands got him. I'm not sure. Tier 1 tower on the safe lane finally being pressured. This is pretty delayed, actually. Although both towers pretty survivable. Seems teams are just getting a little bit better about not losing those towers on the first wave. I usually lose at least 4 of my towers by the 10-minute mark, so I'm quite impressed with both of these teams so far. Seem to know what they're doing. Definitely know the importance of lane control and not giving your opponents an easy invasion into the jungle. Although at some point in the game it usually is going to happen, and that's where we're at now. Like the ward position here for FNG, going to be able to spot the enemy team, not as predictable as the one here. Basically, very equivalent things on both sides of the map. Taking each other's off lane or safe lane towers, and then the jungles will be theirs to control for the next period of time. AA actually heading to the top lane. Surprisingly, he does TP under the Moonlight Shadow, so he's going to be able to initiate here. Has one skill point he's holding, or he just doesn't notice. I'm sure he's holding it though. Waiting to see, do I need Ice Vortex? And Ice Vortex, very good skill on Ancient Apparition to amplify their damage. 15% more magic. I'm on a bit of a mechanics kick right now. Sorry if you guys dislike math or whatever, Dota mechanics, but I had to do a lot of research recently and understand magic resistance a little bit better these days. So I'm just gonna throw the facts at you and slowly hype up my next episode of the Learn Dota series. It's called Mechanics, and that's why I'm here, to chill and promote myself above all else. Tower does go down. Still jungling here. Mickey in position. I do like where he's sitting here. The fact that he's jungling, totally fine. Especially because if enemy cores end up rotating and try to defend any pressure, that he can be there relatively rapidly. You know, these little legs, they can go pretty fast. It's why he's riding a 4-legged animal, so they can get more last hits and show up to fights when needed. And they're actually going to give Earthshaker the really easy farm. This is a really nice way to deal with the split farm here. Brewmaster does commit his ultimate here and does barely catch the bat. They should have a spawn. Nope, doesn't even get the chance. Extremely unable to speak, as spiders do, and as a result, cannot get the goo out, so to speak. And that is going to result in another dead hero. Mickey looking for the troll. Extremely likely kill, if not for the global silence. And not really where you want to burn that, if possible. But with that said, considering how this game has been going, I don't think that's a terrible usage. It guarantees their troll lives. Troll's going to go hit them enemy creeps, and most importantly, the enemy team isn't really grouping up as 5 to commit to a fight anyways. So, and Broodmother can kill you when he can't talk anyways. Why does Broodmother have like a normal mouth? It's real weird, little teeth things. But between the Diffusal Blade and the Medallions, really high chance that that Brood's going to be able to get a kill. Oh, you guys want to hear about mechanics tomorrow? So I was trying to reconcile exactly how much damage minus armor gives you. And the problem is that it's very difficult to convey it in a percentage. When you convey it in a percentage, it's very easy to incorrectly state it. So the easy way to state it is that a armor reduction of 7 reduces your estimated hit points by 35%. So whatever armor bonus you're getting, you multiply by your health bonus, and arguably a medallion will mean that you have 35% less HP multiplication from what his HP has or whatever. I'm not explaining this in a concise way. Watch the video; it's way better. It's not out yet, but get excited. So against Troll, it'd be like, I don't know. I'm not good at doing 35% times 13, 86, but it's a good amount. You know, it's like it's probably like what, 450 HP. So basically, Troll would take like 450 less physical damage to die but when somebody uses a medallion on him, for example. Works better against higher HP targets, essentially. Fun fact. All right, and that should be probably the last time I talk about mechanics on a broadcast ever again, especially one that isn't quite as relevant. They're going to go for a kill. Do miss the avalanche, though. It's a large portion of the damage, but, you know, that's the bigger portion, cutting him in half with the giant ghost. Creepy man with a scythe. Who uses a scythe these days, man? There's the diffusal blade. This is one of those times as support where you regret a lot, and that happens a lot more to me than it has for FNG so far, so I commend him for not dying in that way more than just once. Here comes a split just in time. Arrow as well. Mickey wanted to say, you know what, I want you to feel bad about using your brew ulti, but he didn't quite know that Mirana was going to get there in time. He does absolutely react, and we got a Maelstrom coming on the way shortly. Very, very standard Mirana item. I've tried playing this the other way recently. It was terrible. Do not do it. The Maelstrom, very important. You have all this attack speed bonus, especially with Leap. You're going to farm way faster with Maelstrom, and the amount of damage output you're going to do in teamfights. Incredible ward here. Just barely missing it. Not the most ideal ward in terms of position. You know, actually, this is pretty beautiful. There's a lot of surface area here. Spots the relevant uphill parts and doesn't end up getting spotted. Quakefa has got a lot of things affecting his little spider body, and he looks quite dead here. And he does end up getting killed, losing his little spider brains. Do spiders have brains? Or is it just Play-Doh? I don't know how it works. There's probably something in there. Taiga's still trying to finish up his Blink Dagger. He is approaching, trying to be efficient here. Getting some stacks done as well. That's a pretty good way to accelerate your farm. Let your cores take care of those stacks, and then you're going to be able to better secure your Blink Dagger when they get cleared by the Brood. Another global silence here. This time on the Mirana, actually, they should be able to use Lasso if Lasso wasn't on cooldown, and boy, that's some damage, man. FNG just mad that he got destroyed by a bunch of spiders. Now he's just going to take everybody's little Play-Doh brains. Level 9 now. A fat bracer. That's a very farm silencer. Watch out, guys. How are you going to deal with that? Maxine Chilling Touch. I'm a huge fan of this, actually. I think I haven't played A too much recently, but skill is very high damage output. It's very easy to like not realize it in rapid team fights, but it is certainly the case sometimes.
It really is the case, Kev. Really, truly.
Are you trying to say I'm not a good observer? Is that what you're saying?
You're great. It's just that.
Well, I'm gonna try way less hard. Screw you guys. I am now spectating off of the observer PC, because if I don't directly look at that, I am 100% gonna talk about other things, and you guys are gonna be real confused. So I'm also gonna try to ignore that my in-game Dota 2 is 10 seconds ahead of this. So in some ways, I could sound extremely smart. Yeah, I'm a legit 12 seconds ahead. So I could legitimately predict movements and sound like this. You know what I'm anticipating right now? I think there's a gank coming, and you know what? I think it's going to be a Batrider Lasso into a possible Reaper Scythe. This is the only time I'm going to spoil this for you guys. I swear to God.
You're so good.
That was really early. Yeah, there it is. Boom. See, I knew that was going to happen. I didn't even need to be able to see it. Anyways, Brewmaster ulti comes through. They're going to be jumping in on 9 here, doing some damage. He does use Ghost Shroud. Dispel comes as well. The Brew's going to have to commit, but he's actually getting a lot of heals here. Tiny's going to slow things down. The Yules comes up as well, and 9 gets picked off. Okay. Pretty good stuff here. Byverb now being chased. I'm not sure. Yep, the Cold Feet's not going to connect here, but easy to pick him off. And a lot of heroes dying on the Spirit side, actually. 4 deaths from the Batrider as well. He's trying to help out, but the Alliance fight, they did pretty well. Now, we did not see that the Broodmother die because they just weren't as good at Dota as me to anticipate his death. But in this case, still super good fight for Alliance here. In fact, we can see that the ultimate for Silencer just coming off cooldown there. They did not have it available into that team fight. I'm sure it was absolutely a factor into that engagement. Maybe not expecting the whole Alliance team to be there. And in fact, it definitely felt like the first big clash that we've had all game. So far, Alliance's skirmishes so far have been 2-3 heroes, for example. 250 something is what Earthshaker has picked up for his talent. But Alliance so far has not fully committed with all of their heroes. I really do love this spinning animation in the middle of the screen. I don't know exactly what that means, but I'm pretty sure it's just really high production value. I'm quite sure. You see that tsunami in the bottom right? definitely, it's just branding. I'm pretty sure it's like adding some extra spice here. 90 something for the A on the right. It's almost undeniably the GPM talent. It used to be a 60. I was a big anti-fan of the 60 GPM on A. It is a very small amount of gold. In fact, 10 Spell Amp is huge in terms of landing your Ice Blast in a lot of cases. But with that said, oh shit, an opportunity to talk about mechanics. Did you guys know that stacking multiple sources of never mind. JK, this is in the future. We're back to Purge observing. I'm sure of it. Any moment. We have now jumped forward approximately 13 seconds in time, and it was actually a failed gank on Necrophos here. In fact, this doesn't look too good for Brew, but he's got a hood. He's actually super survivable here. If they want to force him to be committed on, he's still going to have or he's definitely going to still die. Lots of damage here. FNG, once again, experiencing the support lifestyle, and now creep wave being cleared. It's just so different when I'm controlling the camera. I don't know why. It just feels like I can talk about what I want to talk about. Blink Dagger ready for Earthshaker. He's going to get the stun fall. Great fissure follow-up. Arrow landed as well. Mickey does have Starstorm. They instead just go him up with the spider babies, and he explodes in horror of his allies, I'm sure. Except for maybe Necrophos. He's probably into that kind of shit. Really good initiation there. Oh, Echo Slam comes in. Great amplification, and they have everything else to follow up. Taiga has just been owning the last 15 seconds here, setting up everything for his team. This is why Earthshaker is such a baller support in a lot of cases, because this guy has so many stuns that you just have to be on the same game sense as your teammates, and you can guarantee that heroes die constantly. Sets up the first engagement without using Echo Slam, guarantees Echo to amplify and set up the Necrophos. Alright, so the way magic resistance works is really interesting, actually. If you stack multiple sources of magic resistance reduction, it amplifies by more than the base component. So, for example, Decrep on Pugna with a Veil actually, like level 4 Decrep, amplifies the magic damage you deal by 100%, even though the individual components are 25 and 60. It actually goes all the way up to 100. And this actually works the same way with Spell Amp. If you get Spell Amp with magic resistance reduction, it stacks up a lot too. This is by far the best time to talk about mechanics. Dead Troll Warlord. So, what I'm trying to say is Ancient Apparition's 10% Spell Amp is very good because you also have Ice Vortex, that it ends up amplifying to be a much bigger percentage than just 10% here, and then a potential 15% here. I don't know what the math is on these two numbers. I'll probably mess around with the spreadsheet for a couple hours later because I'm actually useless in that way. But great team fight for Alliance here. They're able to pick up Roshan now, most likely, especially with their Medallion pickup. Guys, remember Medallion. Estimated HP. How much estimated HP does Roshan have? A literal metric shitload is probably how I would describe. This spider is actually having some trouble. Certainly a seizure, undoubtedly. He's literally just, or it's just a patrol command and they're trying to spot smoked heroes to see if the pathing gets blocked. They do initiate on the Earthshaker. He's super cut in half here. But they're going to jump on FNG once again, dying the support way. Now he's in the air. He's got Ice Blasted. Perfect timing. Yo, this draft for Alliance is so sick how they've integrated the Piranha. They're taking a hero that's already super good, but they're comboing it in lots of cool ways, namely Earthshaker, Fissure, setups, etc. But then also things like this, the Cyclone into Arrow, that's incredible. How do you even protect yourself against that for the Necrophos? If the arrow's already on top of you, basically, and you come down from the Cyclone, you're going to get hit. Unless you have a BKB or something, I just don't see a huge solution. Unless your allies some way dispel you. Can you like Lotus Orb a guy that heals? It's not one of those things that you can counteract. It's just one of those things that in the moment, Boxy has set this up for his team. Really solid play, gets the support kill, and also guaranteeing that the Necrophos gets blown up. It's just such good play. I love the AA's build this game. This is all right outside of this 90 GPM, which is a lot more than 60, I must say. I love his build range. I do not think you need an Arcane Boots on this hero. I think it's great to be able to spam Vortex and all, but if you're careful, if you have an item like Urn, you absolutely have some mana pool to get through what you need to, and then later on he can just pick up the Spirit Vessel and then just be this massive hero for shutting down heroes like Necrophos. In fact, Necros doesn't have a Dispel solution yet, so if he does get Spirit Vesseled, he's in for a bad time, and there's nothing he can do about it. He's not going to have a Yules. He's got a Blink and a Force, and he's got a Veil, understandably, but it's going to be a while till he even finishes Ags. He has been pressured enough in these team fights that we're not seeing him get super out of control. Brewmaster, on the other hand, thinking, you know what? I don't want to be silenced in crucial moments. I want to be able to get my ultimate off, so queuing up his Lotus Orb. He did go with the 30 damage talent, by the way, which is kind of interesting. Sometimes, at least there was definitely a period of time in the last year where going heavy on health talents was the way to go, but This game, Boxy, knowing he can do damage, especially with the phase. It's the nice thing about the phase Soul Ring. It's like he gets all the benefits of the damage and the movement speed, and he still gets a little bit of HP, and he gets some HP regen, and he covers his mana problems. It's kind of cool. And then he can go damage, and now he's hitting for like a guaranteed 300 physical damage when he gets a crit off. That's kind of a lot. It's very difficult to understand the map when literally every hero on the Dire team draws on it. But, you know, they're teamwork or whatever, coordinating. Still some late game raindrops here, queuing up for a Mjolnir. BKB and Maelstrom. This looks really threatening, actually, for Mirana, especially with the bottle DD. This is very, very scary. I forgot. Reddit threads told me not to zoom out constantly like I do when I observe. My bad, guys. Gotta keep my finger off the mouse button here. Troll Warlord anticipating a potential split push. He's waiting for their enemies to spot, get spotted. That way he can get something done on the map. They're actually going to find the Tiny. Apparently initiating before he gets his blink off. Boy, does that guy look squishy against Mirana. Only level 1 ulti right now. He's picked up 20% magic resistance as well, but man, he still looked very paper. And that's because 5 armor is actually a very small amount at this point in the game. No DD pop from Mirana either, so they can still potentially go high ground, poke some towers, spread the spider babies, and that is a dead silencer for sure. He ends up getting fissured here. Quakefun not going to commit the BKB. He does have an Aegis and felt pretty confident. There's also a dead Tiny. At worst case, he gets like lassoed into buyback there, but very unlikely that Team Spirit would want to commit to that. So Alliance in such a good... I'm still on last instance. I am so sorry, guys. You know, it's not my fault. I was busy spectating the Russian observers, and that's why I stopped paying attention. Not my fault. Brew is going to be setting up here. Here's the Yules. I don't know if they're going to air follow up on this. They might, but it looks like they're mostly just buying time. They know that the key hero is Brewmaster. If he gets his lasso off, that's where people are going to have trouble. The other key hero, Necrophos here. Don't let him cut people in half with his Ghost Scepter Shrine thing. Very, very close to initiating here, but instantly invisible. Now Vibrant, so much trouble. Instantly gets comboed down. Vi's back here, but that's a full set of racks. By the time they're up here, Troll died. I missed it, but it's cool. Quakefun's going to fall down. There's the initiation. BKB popped him again. He may have dispelled his DD. Maybe they're going to go and Tiny again. Oh, that's, you know, that's that mini-map timer thing where it's like, I don't know. Is that my fault? I'm not sure. How did Tiny die? Surely, or Troll surely got Echo Slam. Is undoubtedly what happened, right? Because we saw Troll top. Very likely split pushing, knowing like we can't really win a fight right now. He's got a BKB, so he's like kind of capable of fighting, but he's not really there. So very likely that Earthshaker just solo killed him by himself. And in fact, if we verify this, we literally can't check because too many people died. JK. Yeah, actually, it's literally all deaths. Barracks is happening. I'm going to assume that it was an Earthshaker kill because he was top. In which case, props to him. You have broken my streak, I think. If it wasn't already broken, is what I'm trying to find. Not that I know I missed that kill, guys. Come on. Don't tweet me. Manta, the next item up from Mirana, wanting a separate way to have a solution against Silence. And also, importantly, that he can basically get out of Global Silence without being forced to BKB. And if Batrider jumps to lasso him, he also has a bit of a solution there. Now Spirit is basically saying, like, guys, we are really far behind right now. We just got Raxed. We're losing gold advantage. Zoom back in Purge. Thank you. It's very hard and very important for them to get killed. The invis, though, on Mirana means that they get to initiate when they want to. There's the BKB for Troll World. Actually, he's getting bashed. This is actually really dangerous. Mirana just gets chain bashed constantly. I can't believe that. I thought for sure that Troll Warlord was going to die there, but bash after bash, and now the rest of Alliance showing up, trying to avenge their fallen ally. Vibrant very likely to die here. The Bruiser on him. He's burning down, and now the Necro in there. Great blink out. That is one solution there. The Yules or Tornado from the Brute does not do damage at the end like a Yule's Scepter does. They will be able to fissure stun the Necro, though. Will they have a Ghost Shroud solution? They aren't. That's going to buy him a little bit of time. He's taking bonus damage. So, guys, magic resistance plus magic resistance plus magic. He's just dead. Just super dead. And a medallion. That guy was gonna. He was gonna die. They've got Ice Vortex and Ghost Shroud, and he was gonna fall. And now he picks up Arcane Boots, which is a good time. Now's the point where he's spamming Ice Vortex. I'm very, very big fan of the way the Insane is playing the Ancient Apparition in this game. Big fan. I approve. 2-0 and 19. My God, this guy is owning. Impressive. 5-2 and 10 on Boxy. I mean, as a whole, Alliance is playing fantastic this game. Their movements have been really good. Their laning has been solid. I feel like they just don't die. I mean, in their defense, they pick the Broodmother, and there's lower chance that a support can just be instantly murdered by the Diffusal Blade Medallion Broodmother. But still, he's been playing very good, and this is going to be the first most likely for A, unless the Earthshaker Fissure is good. No! Think about the bounty. Oh no, he finally tries to fissure block him, but it was just way too late. And that's going to be Troll Warlord most likely dying here. But he grabbed the evasion. Why did he miss? Very confused. Oh, Troll, the X-Spin. Brood picking up Assault Curious for his follow-up item. I do love the non-medallion upgrade. I think going straight to Solar Crest is, in a lot of cases, one of the worst item upgrades in the game right now. It just had to be nerfed so many times for heroes that wanted to hold it and have the evasion. As a sieging item, it's great. Throw it on your, I don't know, melee hero, your Dragon Knight or whatever, hit towers. But in terms of damage, it is not worth spending the extra 1,400 to get 3 more minus armor, in my opinion. Very inadequate upgrade. So I'm a huge fan of what Quake is doing here item-wise. Way more personal survivability from picking up those Assault Curious. Plus, then your little babies can attack way faster, which helps sometimes a little bit. He's gone all individual talents here. 50 attack speed at 20 here. Tiny's going to try to slow this down a little bit. And yeah, he's going to kill some spiders, but does that really do that much? Does not feel very good. Fissure coming in. Little disable on Viver as well. Here comes the AI Ice Blast. That's a huge one. Actually catches 3 heroes, 4 heroes. Everybody's caught by the Ice Blast. It may not matter. Viver likely to die. Very close. One more hit here from Mickey. But he was a little worried about the kill. I certainly caught that Ice Blast that resulted in his death, so I'm going to say he caught that kill. And we're going to leave it at that. And everybody in Alliance basically just going to back up and play safe. They would have loved to continue, but losing the Brood is a little bit costly here for them. That guy just really got blown up. They did use Reaper's Sight, though. Initiating here to initiate on Viver. He's getting low. Arrow's going to land. Guy is so slow and so killable here as the boost split comes in. Once again, Ice Blast nailing, but no damage fall. JK, giant boulder flying through the air. And in the meantime, just hitting towers. Dagon was the pickup for Necro. He's given up on his Ags idea, and boy, is that guy is so killable here. Arrow lands as well in Troll Warlord. Just a blind arrow from Mickey there. The Echo Slam fall doesn't even matter. Just there for damage, and that's 4 dead heroes. Now only 3. 1 buyback, 1 respawn here. Mickey slightly vulnerable. HP is kind of low, but a fissure. No arrow fall just now picking up. He's going in, though. Jumps in, pops BKB, looking for the chase. They do have... That is the enemy team sentry, and it's not going to work out. It does spot out the A briefly here, and now that is just going to be a dead here. Surely, I'm feeling a GG, and there it is, yeah. As soon as, if he's out there like that, they know. He's basically accepting his fate. He pops BKB. The enemy team is invisible. They can't get the kill, and the first game is over. Alliance has commandingly stomped this game, I think is safe to say. The laning stage was a slight advantage for Team Spirit. I like some of their heroes, but it really never felt like they got online. The entire early game just felt tempoed by both Mirana, the Broodmother, and as well, this is me. I am Droog, and that is Bafik. Bafik, nice guy. Oh, I think I threw axes with Droog, if I'm not... I don't even know what... Okay, that is actually his tag. I don't know. I think I threw axes with those guys. Beat them all. I'm really bad. I was really bad at it. Anyways, amazing game from Alliance. Super solid play from the way they created space with the Broodmother was awesome in the early game, and then the rotations from Brewmaster were excellent, and then the Earthshaker plays. And man, Alliance just played so good. Amazing game for them. That's game 1, guys. We'll be back. I'm over here like skeeving out about a great Dota game. You just have me on camera. You got to tell me that. Come on. Anyways, that's game 1. We'll be back in a bit with game number 2 of the series. Thanks for watching.